Hey guys, Storm here. Today is going to be our start of a new mini-series, which will only last for probably maybe 2 weeks. It should be a really quick one. And I'm also going to be showing you our new roster for the tutorials. So I've got it up on the screen right here. You see Monday and Thursday are my 2 break days, and we have on Tuesday and Wednesday will be our top-down RPG and our forest tutorials. So, yep, on Friday now is our Secret News series, which is should be something really fun, but it's not to do with game development. It will be interesting, and it should be a quick series. And then on Saturday and Sunday will be our mini series. Sometimes maybe Saturday I'll have it as a break. Alright guys, let's start this new mini series. Originally I planned for it to be something else, but I'm thinking that I might make that into a series in the future. It was going to be like a horror maze game, but I've changed up what I'm going to do. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to start a basic we'll breach into website coding, so basic like social media. So one day in the near future we will be making something like a Facebook or like a YouTube and Twitter. But for now we're going to make just a website like a Ask a Fan maker. So it's like a website where you ask questions to other people, they answer it, and it could be anonymous or not anonymous. So first what you need to do is you need to Google a thing called XAMPP. I would not know how you pronounce that, so just XAMPP. So you're gonna link the first link, and then you download for whichever you're running. So for us, for me, I'm choosing Windows, but you can choose Linux or Macintosh if you like. So download it, and then just wait. And then it will download. I'll be back once it's downloaded. While that's downloading, we're just going to set up our folders. So I'm doing this in a program called Adobe Dreamweaver. Now you can do this in any program. You can do it in Notepad if you don't have anything, but yeah, Dreamweaver would be the thing that I would recommend you to be using. So if you go to your, so you need to create a folder. Generally when you're working with websites, you try and keep everything lowercase. So we're going to create a few folders. We're going to create an images folder, a CSS folder, and a JS folder. And so this will have our style in here, this will have our images, and this will have our JavaScript folder. And now if we go to Dreamweaver, this is just a tutorial for using Dreamweaver. You don't need to do this if you're not using Dreamweaver. So we're going to create a new site. It's going to be called arcs.fm, and then we find where we saved everything. And then you do that. Once this is downloaded, we will delve more probably into servers, but for now we're just going to do this, and you change connect using to local network, and we're just going to call this testing server, and then our testing server we'll find soon. So for now we're just going to leave it where we have, and then we're going to have to change this after. And then for web URL we're just going to do 127.0.0.1. Alright. And then in advanced, you just want to change your server model to be PHP MySQL. Save. Then change remote to be testing, and then save. You see it's loaded up, and we're just going to create a new PHP script. So you just press create new PHP script. Sorry. So used to using Dreamweaver CC, which actually does it properly. You press file new, and then you go on PHP and change it to HTML5. New version to Dreamweaver, you just press new PHP script to do it automatically. I haven't got the new version on my big computer. It's on my laptop. And just in here, we can just change this title to be Ask FM. I'll explain all of this when we get into it. So we just change this to ask.fm. And then you can save it and make sure you leave it all lowercase, so index.php. And call it index because we want it to be our first place you go to, and that's going to check if we're logged in or not. And if we're not logged in, it will send us to our login. If not, it will send us to our proper page. Alrighty, so it's downloaded now. If you just click on it, open it up, make sure you press yes to the prompt that comes up. It will come up with a Bitnami installer. We can now close our web browser because we do not need it. And then here you just press yes. Alright, so you press next. You want to install pretty much everything here. You don't have to, but it's what I would do. It's what I would recommend. Maybe you don't need to have these mail, but it's always good for testing purposes. You can change the install location to whenever you or to wherever you want. I'm just gonna do server, web server. Press next. You don't have to learn more. It's just basically about how you can install apps like WordPress and Joomla and all that onto your local testing site. And then you press next, and you just keep going until it's installed. I'll be back once it's installed. Alright, so now that it's installed, you just leave this checked, and then we press finish. Let me give it a second to load. Alright, now over here, we can just press start on Apache. On Apache. Feel free to pronounce that how you like. It's going to come up with a like a prompt, and you just say yes when it works. Come on. Alright, sorry. Close XAMPP. If you type that in here, you just right click it and then open file location, right click it, and then run as administrator, and then press start. Should be working. 2 seconds. Sorry, if over here you just press you press this to install it, and you allow on your network, press OK, yes, and you allow on your network, then you should be able to press start and it will work. Start and it will work. Right now Apache, how you want to pronounce it, and MySQL is all that we need. So you have our web browser. You can type in a localhost and it will take you to here. So over here you want to press English and you're in. Alright, what we're going to do now is because we're focusing solely on our AskFM website, we won't need any of this, so you need to create new, and we're just going to call it backup, and then you're just going to click all of this and you're going to drag it into your backup. So when you refresh this, it's not going to be there anymore, you're only going to have your backup. So back over to Dreamweaver, if you want to edit your site settings, so we've got a site, manage sites, manage our AskFM one, so you press the pencil, servers, that one, you want to change your server folder to be over here on your web server, and then htdocs, and then select save, and then save, and then you can put your entire website. So you push your entire website there, and now we have an index. When we refresh this, we have an index. can see up here how it says ask.fm, and that's how we're going to do it. Alright, what are we going to do next? First, what we want to do in Dreamweaver is we want to go, we want to create a new file, and it's going to be called .htaccess, like that. Alright, and then if you open up your htaccess, now this is kind of hard to explain what htaccess is. Basically, it's just you can write conditions for your website here, which won't actually be physically displayed. So what we're going to do is we're going to write rewrite engine on. We're just going to remove the .php extension from our website. So rather than seeing www.whatever.com/index.php, we only want to be able to see /index. And then if you do that right now, it's going to come up with an error. Alrighty, so we want rewrite engine on, and then rewrite condition, and then %request _ file name, all in capital letters, exclamation mark, tac f, and then rewrite rule, just copy this, and that should be good. Alright, that should be all fine. Let me just check. We are fine. Now if we, you can press Control-Shift-U, that's the automatic thing. If not, you can just press that arrow and it'll push everything to the server. Refresh the page, you see you don't need the extension anymore. Now back to the actual website. So the doc type HTML, that's just telling us that it's a HTML5. Your HTML, you need to put everything in between these two tags. Your head is where things that aren't on the website are going to be displayed. So it's basically where you link to assets that you need, so your CSS, which I'll explain that in a second, and then JavaScript files that you need, and then your body is where you actually do the styling inside your thing. Now these tutorials are going to be aimed at intermediate, and then they'll let me start again. Sorry, the mini series tutorials, which will be going on for they'll go for about 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes only 1 week. So you will have probably 4 to 6 lessons on one given tutorial. So this should not take too many for a basic site. But basically these are going to be, all these mini-series tutorials will be aimed at intermediate to advanced levels. So when I do like full-on series, we'll start with like a HTML basic series where I explain everything in depth. So for this series, you need to have a basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, and then I'll teach you PHP as we go. But it's good to have a knowledge of that. So I'm not going to walk you through all this process like what a div is, but I will do that in another series coming. Alrighty, now I got that out of the way. These episodes will be much longer, so probably around 40-minute episodes, just so I can fit everything into one episode and have different stages. Alright, so let's get started. First we need to create a new file, and it needs to be a CSS file, and we're going to save it in our CSS folder as style.css. So the style.css will be what we use to style our website with. So we're going to open that up and we're going to bring that into here. So in our body, we're going to create a just a div, and we're going to make this class header container, and then inside that we want to have a div class of header, and that's going to have basically our header and our styling inside of our header. Okay, so in this series we're going to use a framework. So if you go to Google, a framework is just going to be so we have some base styles already implemented for us. So what you need to do is you just need to Google Semantic UI, and it's our top one. And basically this is just going to have some styles already there for us, which is just easier on the eye and faster for us to code. So you just download that and it will be 2.4 megabytes. So we give that 10 seconds. Now we open it up, show in our downloads folder, we can extract it. And in Semantic it's got a few things for us. So we want to go to our packaged, and we want to copy all these. So we're going to change this folder here to be called JS, just so it works with our website. And then we're going to go to our htdocs, sorry, not a htdocs, our local website. So website, you just want to copy it in there. You just want to merge the files. So you come to Dreamweaver, you can just refresh, and we're going to push the entire website. And so you'll see that if we go to our htdocs, web server, htdocs, where is it? Here, we have not got everything, sorry. You press this button here, entire Ask.fm site, preview, and then you just press OK, and it will push everything to our htdocs here, as you can see. So up the top here, we just want to include a few things. So in our style, we want to include Semantic UI, and under that we would just want to include just our JavaScript, Semantic JavaScript. There we go. Now Semantic UI, we'll just have a look at everything over here. So it teaches us everything that we're going to need, basically. So it's got just, yeah, we'll go along here to learn some things, but I have it up over here. Alrighty. Let's start doing this, shall we? Alright. We can close this now and we'll come back into Dreamweaver. So in our header container, we're going to add a few styles for it. So first, header container. We want its width, we want position to be fixed. We're also going to just add a quick thing up here in the body to be margin 0 and padding 0. We want our header container to be at the top, 0 pixels, and we want our width to be 100%, and then we want our height to be 50 pixels. And then just for a quick thing, we'll get into our color scheme soon. We'll just do background color, and we'll just do hashtag 9f1c1c, and that should give us a nice red. So we'll refresh, and there you go. I actually quite like that color. So I'm going to open up Photoshop. This is just for us defining what colors we're going to want. Alright, so we open up a new page. And I'm just going to get all of our color styling up and running when it loads. Give it a second. Come on. Alright, so we're going to get some color schemes going on. I quite like the 9f1c1c that we had going, so I'm just going to get a brush out and just draw with it so we can see our color. Then we just get a nice hard brush so we can see the color that we're using. Righty. I'll just do that, and then just get a paint bucket out and just color it in. So that's going to be our main color. So yeah, and usually we choose a nice dark color to go with it, but we're going to use white on the background and things should be fine. We can create a gradient if we want, but I think that's fine as is. And let's get coding. next, in our header, we want it to be, we're going to play around with media queries after, which is like designed for like iPad. But for now, we're just going to do a header, and we're going to do width to be 1300 pixels, and then margin 0 auto, height 100%. And just to show you what this is going to do, we're just going to do this, and then hashtag 000. This is just to show you what it's going to look like. And then every time you save, you need to make sure you push it into your htaccess folder. For people that are using Dreamweaver, you can just work with your files in your htaccess folder rather than having two folders like we have. So I refresh, you see it centers it for us at 1300 pixels, which doesn't seem right. Sorry, it should be 1130, I think. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so let's start doing this. We're actually gonna just make this 750 pixels, just to follow along with how Ask.fm site looks. However, I'm not really liking that, so we'll make it 900 pixels just for a bit bigger. So we come over here, we can refresh, and there we go. Alrighty. Let me just close off some of these programs. Now we can remove this and just do that. Okay, so now we want to have a div class equals container. We'll just say index container, and then we're just going to set our first. We're going to set our body's background color to be like a hashtag EEE, just for a nice darker white, and then we'll have our whatever we're going to have in here. So we're just going to have div class is equal to feed. Alright, so we're going to have a feed inside of our index container. So we'll go back over to our style. I'm going to have that index container, and that width is also going to be 900 pixels, margin 0 auto, and that should be fine. And then we're going to go to our feed, and we're going to have just a quick we'll have a box radius 5 pixels. Wait, that might be wrong. So sorry, border radius 5 pixels. That should be at the bottom. So we're gonna have width being 800 pixels, I guess. Yep, and margin 0 auto, and we're gonna have background color being fully white, and then we're gonna set our minimum height to be 200 pixels. 200 pixels. So let's have a look at what we have so far. Alright, so you see that? And then we're going to have a margin top being like 50 pixels. 20 pixels, sorry, because we're going to have some spacing between that and the header. So we refresh. Sorry, because our header is 50, we're going to make yeah, just 20 pixels in our index container. Margin top can be 50 pixels. Yep. So we have we should have a 20 pixels gap. But we don't. Just make this 70 pixels. Yeah, there we go. So we have a 20 pixel gap now. Alrighty. Just quickly, sorry, we're gonna change the body's background color to 701414. That should be good. Then we're gonna get something like this, which is how Oscom usually does this, and then the user can select their own background if that's what they choose, and we'll get into that later. Next, we want to create ourselves a logo. So new, and we're gonna say, so it's gonna be 100 by 40. So you press OK, then we're gonna design our logo. So we're gonna just create a new layer for now. We're just gonna set up background just so we can see everything we're doing. So we're gonna get a text tool, and it's gonna be white. And I'm gonna use Roboto because that's my favorite font. And we're gonna bring the font size down a heap, probably about 48. No, probably to 30. Maybe 24. Anyway, I'm just gonna do BSG, and we're gonna do .fm. BSG.fm. Brainstormgames.fm, if you guys didn't know. I'm gonna make that a bit bigger just because it's quite small. And I'm gonna get the opposite color of this, so I could do that in Photoshop if I really wanted, but I'm lazy. So I'm gonna do that. Color hexa.com. I'm gonna do that. And it's complementary color is what I was looking for. So we're gonna go back into Photoshop. We're gonna change the .fm part, and we're gonna change its color to be that. And then we're gonna choose it all, and it's gonna be italic, so thin italic. Maybe make it a bit bigger, like so. So bsg.fm. That's how it's gonna look. Now I'm gonna make, rather than it being thin, we're gonna have it as light italic, and then we're just gonna bring the size down just a touch. All right, and I'm gonna change it from crisp to probably sharp. Maybe that will look better. Yep, sharp looks better. I'm gonna delete the bottom layer, and then we're gonna merge these two layers together, and then I'm gonna save it as a PNG on my in my images. So website images, and we're gonna say as a logo PNG. Alright, so if we come into Dreamweaver, we're gonna have two things on our thing. So we're gonna have div class equals left, I believe. That should bring it all left for us. And then we're gonna have a div class equals right. That'll bring everything right for us. So that's something that we get from that's something we get to have with this framework. It does it all for us. And in here I'm just gonna have a div class equals logo, which will be fine. And then we're gonna go into our style. Under our header, I'm gonna have .logo. We're gonna have our width being 100 pixels and our height being 40 pixels. And then we can do, because it's gonna be 50 pixels, so we can do margin top 5 pixels, and then background image. And we can press browse. You can go to your images and choose your logo, which our logo is there. Then we can save that, put that onto the server, and put that onto the server. And we want to push our image, so you can just right click your refresh. You can right click your logo and you can press put. So you come to our website, you refresh, and there it is, bsg.fm. Alright. We can always edit that, because I just realized looking at it that the BSG part of it is actually bold. So we can change that to black italic, and then we can save that again as a PNG, overriding our logo. Press OK. Come back into Dreamweaver. Come back into Dreamweaver, then we can put that back into the server, and you'll see the change happen when it's saved. There we go. It looks a bit big, a bit wrong. We can probably fix it up later. Alright. So next what we have to do is, in our feed, we're going to have a div class is equal to feed header. And we're going to have two classes, two more divs in here. One is a left, and then one is a right. Alrighty. So in our left, we're going to have two links. So we're going to have a href is equal to index, and then an a href is equal to stream. So stream is going to be our all latest questions, and then index is going to be the people that we follow. And they're going to be separated by a at non-breaking space point, and then a whatever you call that, and then another at non-breaking space point. This one's going to say friends answers. Actually, we'll just copy what they say. So answers or stream. So we have a look. It says answers and stream. But we want to make that look better rather than how it looks right now. So how we're going to do that, we're going to what we're going to do that is we're going to use our new what we've imported here. So we're going to do we're going to make these, we're just going to say h2, I guess. And then to get the best out of it, what we do is we're going to do class is equal to UI header. Save that, and we refresh it, and there we go. It's starting to look a little bit better. The next thing that we need to do is we need to do font in our body. Just want to do font family, and then we can do Helvetica, the Arial Helvetica. And if we refresh our page, you'll see what it looks like that. Alrighty. What we want to do next is, with our A, we want to go into A, and then also do a comma, A hover, and we just want to do text decoration none. And what that's going to do is it's going to remove our underline. And we also want to do just color #000. There we go. Over here, we're going to have class equals on our stream we want to have class equals unselected. So we'll go back to our style and we do an a dot unselected, and we just make the color #999. So you refresh the page and it goes #999. And then one final thing that we need to do is if you copy that, then you do a colon hover, we can make that 000. And to be extra nice about it, we can do a transition all 1 second ease in out. And if you just copy that, you can do a WebKit one as well. So let me just see how you do this. WebKit. And then there's Mozilla, I think. Let's have a look. Moz. And just copy that. And then, so that does it for all of them. If you refresh the page, you see it takes 1 second, which is way too long. Sorry, so do 0.2. And it just gives us some animation effect as we go in and out. It looks a little big, so I'm just going to change this from a H2 down to a H3. And that should be all good and all fine. Yep, that's perfect. And then on our, we're going to go into our feed. So we're going to have padding. And we're going to make them all 20 pixels. Or we can do padding 10 and then 20 pixels, if I'm right. Yeah. Alrighty. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a few links up in the top right. So we're going to do a, and then we're going to do a class is equal to link menu. And we're just going to copy that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Sorry, 5 times. So we have 6 of them. And then you're going to go from left to right. So settings, and then search, and then friends, profile, questions, and then we just, for now, we're just going to put 0, and then home. Next thing, what we want to do is we're going to go, we're going to have home be link menu and then selected, just because we want it to be white. Next thing we want to do is we're going to do a.link menu, and we want to do a few things. So we want to have display, we want to display as a block. The font size is going to be 12 pixels. The line height will be 14 pixels. The margin will be 0. The padding will be 13 pixels and 6 pixels. The text align will be center. The color will be that, so just copy that down, D68383. The background color will be transparent. It will float right, and the white space will be no wrap. And then we're just going to copy that. We're going to do a.link menu dot selected, and we're going to do color, and we're going to do #FFF. If you come back up here and we copy all of these transitions, we will just paste that back in here, and then we'll copy this part, and we'll do a hover, and we'll just make the color #FFF. Come back over here, and you see we've got them so far. Just quickly, sorry, we don't actually need the floating left and right. We can just do away with that, and then just put that back tab. That should probably fix our problem that we have. Nope, no it doesn't. Sorry, what we need to do is in the logo, we just need to make sure that it floats left, and then just refresh the page, and it will give us this. So right now things are up a bit high. we can just fix that by changing the line height, which we set over here to be 20 pixels, maybe. Have a look at that, refresh. Not quite right, we'll just do 25 pixels because it's half of 50. Refresh, and there we go. Starting to look better. We will add the logout button later. We don't need that just now. Finally, we need to add just one more thing, and then we'll work on a bit more in the users in the next episode. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into our feed header. Under our h3, we're just going to add a div class equals UI blue inverted segment, and in here we're just going to write p, and we're just going to write we need to do a few things, but for now we're just going to put in some placeholder content. So we're going to have a h2, which is going to be bsg.fm/username, and then p, share this link with your friends to get more questions. And then we can have some social links down here if we want. And yeah, we'll have some social links there. So we refresh the page, you see that's what we get. Alrighty, that's been episode 1. Episode 2, we'll start doing some stuff with databases and getting users and everything ready. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. I've been Storm. Good night.